Hello. This is a little announcement for everyone. Spoilers, swearing, and opinions coming your way at lightning speeds or normal speeds or half speeds, depending on the settings of your podcast listener. And go. Hello and welcome to 250 Reasons to Stay Indoors. I'm Jordan.
I'm Keiran.
And this is the podcast where we watch the IMDb top 250 films. And we watch them and we tell you whether they were worth watching or whether we wish we hadn't watched them and we think you should do the same.
What, we wish that you would not
They
watch
get
the
it
films.
by now. They know what we do.
They got it.
So this week we are watching
Spotlight.
Can you spot the light inside us all?
Yes, Jordan. And I can spot that it came out in 2015.
Smooth.
And
why don't you shine a light on the date?
hey,
Wait, you said that, didn't you? On the number.
on the ranking,
Yeah.
207. 207.
Okay, just very straight with the facts there.
Yeah. Can't be asked.
207. That's quite high. Quite low, rather.
Yes, Spotlight.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I know what it's about.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I know what it's about.
Oh. Okay. Well,
so I don't know. Shall I make something up?
no, I'll go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like it to be a musical about someone trying to get their way into the cinema industry.
Okay.
But they're not an actor or like a director or something.
Right.
They are the lighting person.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
like
so
that.
it's their job to do all the spotlights and things like that. And
Yeah.
they start off doing like a really shitty Amdram production, and then they slowly build. But their thing is always doing the spotlight, you know.
Wow, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Maybe, though. Who knows?
Well, you know.
I do know.
Okay, so let's just go
Uno. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's watch that film. We'll come back, discuss some of the things that we thought, and then round off the episode with a nice little song.
Can we do the sound effect of when you put a spotlight on someone? It's like a...
Oh, yeah.
Maybe?
I was just thinking of the light. It's like,
Well, oh, okay, let's do it. Okay, wait.
Okay.
There we go. Nice. See you in a bit.
That was probably really annoying. See ya. And we're back with a couple of fast thoughts. Halogen.
Halogen?
Yeah, it's a type of light.
Oh, yeah. Office.
Journalist.
Admin.
Church.
Newspaper.
Mark Ruffalo.
Boston.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, is it because the thingies guy,
Yeah.
the dude from, rapey priests?
Newspaper.
I said newspaper. God damn it. Investigative journalism, and then we'll call it a day there.
Okay, yeah. Not my best game.
Is this
today.
2 weeks in a row that we've done something to do with Catholics, by the way? Last week was Cinema Paradiso, no?
Well, I mean, Catholics were in it, but I don't think it was really to do with Catholics.
Prominent theme in Spotlight, not so much in Cinema Paradiso. Somewhat a tenuous link. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Should we go-
tenuous at best.
15-second pitch, I guess?
Yeah, so let's do the 15-second pitch. For those of you that don't know, this is where Keiran goes through the summary of the film in 15 seconds or less, or often more.
Off the top of my head, by the way, I'm not trying to... I haven't, prepared this. I prepared this in as much as when I was driving...
Do you not? I feel like you prepare it each time.
I think, thank you, but then also I get it wrong a lot more times than I don't. So.
Knowing you, I don't think that you're the kind of person that would do anything unprepared.
I mean, you know. Okay, all right, I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
A bunch of journalists in Boston in the Boston Globe, they uncover that there is a priest who's been sexually assaulting kids. They end up finding out that there's 87 priests in Boston who've been doing it, and the guy who runs the newspaper is like, uncover the system. 9/11 happens, fucks the whole operation, but then they end up releasing it, and then loads of priests get taken down.
18 seconds. That was good, though. I think if you'd have done it the way you rehearsed it, it would have been 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think
There's a couple of breaks there.
Yeah, if you would have taken out all of the stutters, all of the stammers, then I think it would probably be reduced to...
It was good, though. The content was spot on.
I appreciate that.
It was consistent and coherent.
Definitely 3 seconds worth of stammers, though.
Yeah. So work on that.
Do better. All right, okay.
Yeah,
thanks, Jordan.
Always. So do you want to do an actual proper synopsis?
So yes, I think...
Okay, all right. Dickhead. Go ahead, be my guest.
All right, so we start off and it's like 1984 or something like that. 1980. It's a while ago. No, sorry, 1976.
A very long while ago then, statistically.
Yeah. So we're in 1976, and just for this opening scene, and there is a priest and a family, like a mum, 2 kids, and the priest assures the mum that this will never happen again, and Father, can't remember the guy's name, Father so-and-so, will be moved to another parish, another church or whatever.
Yeah, Father, what's his name, so-and-so?
Yeah, that guy. And then flash forward to 2001.
2001.
And there is the main place where this is all set is in Boston.
Yep.
East coast of the US. For anyone who doesn't know, that's where Boston is.
My American geography is awful.
Well, this is for you then.
California is on the left.
Mr. Alanfornia.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And Boston. That's on the right-hand side. On the east coast of the US.
Boston, that's all right with me. That's what their slogan should be.
Is it?
It should be.
Why?
If it's right. If it's on the right.
Moving on. So, Boston is a very, very Catholic place.
Yeah.
And this is all set at the Boston Globe, which is the biggest newspaper in Boston. And there is an investigative team at the Boston Globe called Spotlight.
Spotlight.
And you can't be the same as Flashback. It has to be...
Spotlight.
No. Spotlight.
Oh, yeah. Spotlight.
Very good. Yeah. Nice. I like it. And what they do is they spend quite a while uncovering different cases, and like up to like a year investigating cases. And there's this new editor that comes in, and he's like, he has a sit down chat with the guy who runs Spotlight, and he's shaking things up. And by the way, this new guy, very serious guy, and he is Jewish, and someone in the Spotlight team, I can't remember at what point this comes up and how they uncover this, but they basically uncover that there is one priest who has been sexually assaulting kids.
Yeah, you're right. I can't actually remember how they came up with the first clue.
Not great.
No.
not great that we can't work that out.
No.
But I feel like it's essentially they get a lead, and then they're like, wait, you're going to sue the Catholic Church? And they're like, well, no, we're not suing the Catholic Church.
This is Boston.
Yeah, and so everyone's surprised. But so the takeaway is that the Boston Globe is going to sue the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Now, as they start to interview people who are part of like survivor associations, survivor charities, and whatever, I can't remember the name of that specific organization, but a group of people who they are survivors of this specific kind of sexual assault in churches and stuff. They realize that it's definitely not just one person, it's loads of priests.
Yeah.
Then they contact someone who worked in a rehabilitation center who's now shacked up with a nun. And he says, if all of my research is correct, there will be approximately 90 priests per big town. You know, no, it wasn't. It was 13%. Was it that?
Yeah,
was that
something
right?
like that. Yeah, you worked out a percentage of priests that are the percentage that is likely to be priests that have committed this Cardinal sin.
Well, it's an atrocity.
Yeah.
And so he's like, boy, that would mean that in Boston it'd be 90. So they do loads of admin research, and then they find that there's 87 priests in Boston who have been, and what they uncover is that the Catholic Church mask them their misbehaviors, for want of a better term, by saying that they have been
like sick leave.
They're on sick leave or some kind of they've been displaced from church to church. So when something
move, like it's every 2 years or something like that, roughly,
as opposed to moving every 7 years, which is average for a priest. So they go through all of these records, like books and books and books and books, and there's admin montages for days, and I fucking love it. And they find 87 priests, and they got their names and they got their addresses, and that's a nice mug. That's an Agent Shield mug.
Thank you.
Jordan.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's my girlfriend's.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a nice
I didn't
mug.
quite make the cut for Agent Shield.
Ah, that's a shame. So she got like you didn't?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
No, the cup wasn't a concessionary price.
That's
you
right.
get that at an interview, just like, hi, just to let you know, you didn't get the job, but here's a mug.
I'd be all right with that. I'd be okay.
Talking to your mum after, well, it's not like I didn't come away with anything from the experience. I got a mug.
I did a gig in a prison and got a mug from the prison.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's definitely a joke in there somewhere about someone being a mug.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't take any pictures, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave us a mugshot.
Oh, not really my cup of tea.
Hey! Much better
Thank
reaction. Joke. Okay, so going back to the actual film.
So they found the 87 people.
Yes, they did. Thank you. They found the 87 people, and they're like, we can't publish this. We can't go public with this straight away.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a lot of back and forth with this particular lawyer, who it's not as if they just found these people straight away. They had to speak with different lawyers. Who one of them was trying to prosecute these priests the whole time, and the other one was like essentially making deals with the priests and the families, and they would like work out a bailout kind of system and.
Yeah, so
There's
like
under the table stuff.
There's like one super lawyer who just works in like an overly cluttered office, just trying to stick anything he can and get the case like done.
And he's already done a lot of this hard work, but he just
a lot of the legwork in.
He doesn't have the power to be able to go.
And the other lawyer is like in a sky block of what do you call
high-rise
skyscraper businessman with flashy suits and
nice
doors
offices
that probably slide open when you walk towards them.
Yeah, automatic doors.
Yeah, they go with air things in them, so they sound spacey.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, one of those ones.
That's what I want.
The kind of office that also has a little
That's
nice.
when you know you've made it.
Well, for me, it's like a little office that has a nice office, glass windows, but has a little brown cabinet with some scotch in it.
Yeah.
That's
just
the kind
to
of
like
office
ground yourself.
Yeah,
remember where you came from.
You came from alcoholism. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, alcoholism and the forest. That's what I want, though. I want to walk into a room and just the doors just go, and then I'll just look around and I'll be like,
Woodlands.
You did it, Jordan. You fucking did it.
Yeah. So there's those two contrasting lawyers, and there's a lot of kind of hard to sum up. I can't tell you chronologically what happens in terms of like when people go and visit different sources and have different pieces of information.
Who's got the time?
There's loads of different. Who's got the fucking time?
Who's got the time?
But
it's not like we can edit this and make it shorter and snappier.
Nope. That was one of the doors building up to.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why are you walking through a door
Revolve.
while just sitting down? You're just
Revolving
doing the sound effect.
Yeah. There you go. No, but what I will tell you is that essentially they get to a point where they're like, all right, let's go public with this. Then 9/11 happens.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, indeed. And so they're like, okay, well, we can't publish this right now. So 9/11 happens on the 11th of September, 2001. And so they go live with it from January 2002. And essentially, because the editor's like, don't just take down a priest because the system is still there. You have to take down the system.
Yeah.
Which is why they take ages. And so
because they're just like gathering enough evidence that they can actually show that the church is aware of the problem and is putting things in place to make sure that they can hide it. So it's not that they're trying to pin it on the priest doing the act. It's more they're trying to pin it on the church that they're doing this, because that's a more important story to tell.
Because the idea is that the system is corrupt,
Yeah.
and that the law isn't being carried out in the way that it should be. Because all of these priests should be prosecuted in a court of law, whereas they're not.
Yes.
So the system is corrupt, and they basically go public with it, and they take down the system.
Yeah.
That's essentially the story.
That is it, yeah. And it was a true story. And that's the end of the film.
Just to finish off the synopsis, one of the investigative journalists, he's going through at the end of one of the admin montages, he's going through one of the books to find these rehab centers, and he realizes that one of them is just down the road from where he lives.
Yeah.
And so he's saying to his boss, he's like, can we go public with this? Because I need to tell my parents, my wife.
I need to tell my mom.
I need to tell my wife and my kids that there is a paedophile down the road.
Yeah.
And another one of the investigative journalists, she knocks on someone's door, and she's like, hey, are you Father so-and-so? Not the same one as before.
No.
Father, let's call him.
Father, what you call it?
Yeah, Father, what you call it? Are you Father, what you call it? And he's like, yes, I'm Father, what you call it. Did you do this stuff? Did you rape kids? And he's like, yeah, I played around with kids. Like, really matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fooled around with kids. But it's only because someone fooled around with me. And she's like, what the, like, you can see her being like, who am I even talking to? And his sister is like, come inside, get the fuck away from here. But basically, she's realizing that it is really a whole system. It's not just one guy.
Yeah.
It's a whole system. So what I'm saying is, even though the synopsis was, I mean, I'm rambling now, but before I started rambling, it was over quite quickly. What I'm saying is that there's a load of things that happen in the film that make it like personalized, and there's stories and plot lines, and makes it cool.
Yeah. You mean there's stuff in the film that happens?
There's stuff in the film that makes it a good film.
Yeah. Well described.
I can hit you with a beef straight away, though.
Yeah, go for it.
Mark Ruffalo,
Right.
iron your fucking shirt.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Iron your shirts. All of his shirts
Is your
are creased.
shirt ironed right now, Kieran?
It's what? Yeah, it is.
Yeah?
It is ironed,
Because it doesn't
Jordan.
look very ironed.
Well, I've had a full day.
Oh, you don't carry a travel iron with you?
As much as I would like to, no. But also, this is like the kind of material that this is. This isn't like an office shirt.
Here we go. Excuses.
This isn't an office shirt. Whereas with an office shirt, you can definitely tell when it's been ironed and when it's been not ironed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Don't give me that, Jordan.
Yeah,
You definitely can.
maybe.
Whereas Mark Scruffalo, eh?
No.
Am I right?
No.
Yeah?
No.
Yeah, I'm taking that one.
No. Okay, fair enough. I have a beef about Mark.
Okay.
So
I feel weird calling him Mark. I want to call him the Hulk all the time.
No.
Every time.
No.
Every film.
Mr. Ruffalo.
Okay. Yeah, thank
That's
you.
weird, isn't it?
Ruffalo.
Mr. Ruffalo.
Mr. Ruffalo.
Sounds like something out of a kid's... I mean, we've already gone over the whole Gruffalo thing before.
Sure.
It sounds like something out of a kid's book.
But it's like the Gruffalo, like, put on a suit and tie.
The bank said hello to him. Hello, Mr. Ruffalo. Hello.
He's behind
I would like some money, please. How much would you like, Mr. Ruffalo?
What job would the Ruffalo, would Mr. Ruffalo have?
It would be something to do with hitting things with a club.
I don't know. I feel like he. The picture in my head.
Sound very like child story-ish, but like I'm picturing he works at like a cat or dog food factory where he just has to like kill the mice or something.
Jesus
on
Christ!
A conveyor belt.
I don't think that's what.
All day long, Mr. Gruffalo beat up the mice so that they could be put into pate for your dog.
Pate, classy.
Yeah.
But I can understand that the Gruffalo works in a mice killing factory, whatever. But I don't think Mr. Ruffalo does. So even though it's the same person, I think Mr. Ruffalo is a bit more distinguished than the Gruffalo. So
I still don't think he's a very high status. I think he's very much.
I think he's a loan shark.
A loan shark.
I think Mr. Ruffalo. Yeah, he's got a briefcase.
He's gonna ruffle your feathers, son.
He's got a briefcase and he's got like a suit and tie. but like it's the same suit and tie that's on a rotation. Like and he goes back. He just buys a bag of Butterkist popcorn and just eats that for dinner at home.
Just kind of described my life quite well.
Oh, sorry, Jordan.
I eat quite a lot of Butterkist popcorn.
I didn't.
It
realize.
feels like there's nothing up there. It doesn't. You don't feel guilty about eating it because it's mostly air.
I have the same feeling about marshmallows.
Oh yeah, but that's just sugar that's been inflated.
Inflated sugar.
Yeah, surely.
Probably.
Or is that bubble gum? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
So my beef with Mark.
Oh, okay, finally, yeah.
Every time he sat down, right? I like pockets. Let me start. I don't want to exclude myself from the pocket community.
Mm-hmm.
The pockets are great, and I do think that we should have equal justice for women whose jeans often have smaller pockets.
Absolutely,
it's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark, every time he goes to sit down, right, he walks around with his hands in his jean pockets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big hands in pocket kind of guy. It feels very strange when
it's
I
almost
do
like
that.
he makes a point of having his hands in his pockets.
So he puts his hands in his pockets and then he sits down. That looks so uncomfortable because his pocket, he's barely got his hands in. He's got like half his hand in. He's got his fingers in, his thumbs kind of sticking out. And then he's going to sit down. So he's like doing this awkward sort of like hands on hips.
Like hunch kind of thing.
Like, let me ask you some questions, please. And can we make it quick? Because I need to get up because I'm losing the circulation in my fingers. Because this is not working for me.
And also check this out. When he says, please.
Yeah, he
Please.
does like a little pigeon bob head thing.
What the fuck's up with that?
I don't know. I feel like it was he got into character for that one.
Like, I have a feeling that, like, great character. As in, like, great actor, love Mark Ruffalo, think he's wicked. But I think in this film, everyone have been like, is he going a bit over the top? Is he doing a bit too much? And then everyone else will be like, I don't know if I want to say anything. Because he's...
When did this come out again?
2015.
Yeah, so I think
It's not as if it's like it's his first film,
isn't he?
Yeah. Like, so it's not. I don't think he's the kind of person that anyone would be scared to say anything because they feel like he's going to flip out and I guess become the Hulk. But but it's the whole thing of like, I feel like he probably knows what he's doing, but it looks really uncomfortable.
Maybe he's trying to do some. Well, first of all, it's probably based off of an actual person, so maybe that's what the actual person does. Yeah, because this is a true story. Maybe he's literally based off of that journalist.
But interesting that's a defining characteristic because as they were finding out about that person, that real life person, they either did one of two things or both of them. They either or and fucking choose one of them.
Just say the thing.
Interviewed the guy.
Yeah.
And or asked other people what that person was like. So if they interviewed him, we're saying that this person still talks to people with his hands in his pockets while sitting down.
Yeah.
Or other people who knew him were like, oh yeah, Rodney, yeah. He used to always just sit around with his hands in his pockets. Like that was a defining characteristic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's not as if there would be just footage of him just going around the office.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they probably had more than just an interview with him. I feel like they probably were quite involved in the whole process. Like Mark would definitely have spoken to the guy and like got a feel for him and how to act him and, you know, ask his opinion on certain things. I feel like that's something that actors do, isn't it? If you're doing something based off of an actual person, surely you want to actually speak to that person, find out what was going on, what they were thinking and stuff like that to get in their head and in their shoes.
Would you think that if you met an actor or an actor was interviewing you so that they can start to learn more about you, would that actor just start copying all of your movements?
That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
That'd be really strange.
Yeah.
The more you had a conversation with them, the more they're just replicating exactly what you're doing.
Do you think it'd be like when you get a caricature, where they like highlight your worst sort of features? You're just sitting there talking to this guy, and all of a sudden he starts doing something, and you're like, God, this guy looks like a dick. Why is he doing that?
I do that.
Oh shit! Because I do that. Oh no!
I've got a beef. Another one.
Yeah.
Italian.
Italian.
There's a time that they say Italian, but they say Italian. Again,
Yeah.
the same way that in Inglourious Bastards, they say Italian.
Yeah.
But like,
You just don't like that
why is that a thing?
because it's I
No, come on. It's definitely Italian.
and it's America.
and it's England. Is that?
No,
Are we going?
it's not, because that's N.
It's not America. It's just America, and it's not Italian. It's just Italian. Like why do you have
They're
to make
just
a point?
letters, Kieran.
But what?
They make words,
Yeah, I get it.
and they're not even real.
Jordan.
It's a concept.
Jordan. I just don't understand why they have to make such a big deal out of saying the letter I. Why? Not I. No, not why. I mean I. Fuck. But do you know what I'm saying? They're saying things wrong, and it's silly. I don't like it.
I don't think you know what you're saying.
No, I'm just going to move on. In the office, they got these office chairs, right?
Yeah.
How fucking far back do you want to lean in one of those office chairs? It's incredible.
What do you mean?
So there's one point where like Michael Keaton, I think.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's his name. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. I
Beetlejuice.
was talking to a mate about him yesterday.
Old Mike. Yeah.
Yep. Mr. Keaton. Yep. He sits down in his chair, and I mean, I don't really know how to explain this. You see someone sitting down in a chair, and you expect the chair to go down a certain amount, you know, or like you expect the back of the chair to lean back a certain amount. It's like,
right.
I understand that amount of leaning back for them sitting down.
Okay.
But the chair just keeps going.
Right.
To the point where it's almost horizontal with the floor.
Right.
I'm like, who has office chairs like that? That's not ergonomical for your body. That's not good for you. I have beef with the office chairs in that office.
Mm.
Don't have those office chairs. They're not good.
But what if you need to like...
If you need to lounge...
You need to lie back to get a new perspective at things.
So they're perspective chairs.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be in the rest of the Boston Globe. I think that they're specific for investigative journalism because
they probably come with a heavy price tag.
Yeah, and
try these new conceptual perspective chairs.
You need to
sit on them and think sideways. $5,000.
You need to be able to lean back to be able to look into the corner of the room and think, oh, but maybe if the fire alarm in the corner of the room links with the window and it's the janitor.
I don't think you know anything about investigative journalism.
I think that being and doing policing are the same thing. So there you go.
Fair enough. Actually, on that point, I had a bit of a beef with their investigative journalism methods.
Mm-hmm.
As if it took them up until like, what, an hour and a half or an hour, like very far into the process of doing their investigation.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, why don't we work backwards? Like, as in, like, they've got the list of like 80 names or something, and they've had this list for ages, and they're like, right, let's start investigating like this and this, and then all of a sudden it's like someone figures that they've got like sick leave as like a thing. As soon as I heard that, I was like, well, you just go and look at all the people that have sick leave, like work backwards, find the names. Like, sorry, that's how they found the list of 80 names.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, no, as soon as they figured like, oh, they've got sick leave, and he was put down as sick leave, like that gets said, and then like an hour later they're doing all this stuff and they're like, hey, why don't we look at all the things that had sick leave? I was sitting there like, no.
You could have figured that out ages ago.
Assumed that didn't work. I assumed you must have already tried that. Why is it taking till now?
I also questioned Spotlight before this project as well.
Right.
Because you got let me try. Marty is the name of the new editor that comes in.
Oh, okay.
And
top lad.
Top lad, and I fucking loved Marty because he was so serious, and he looked for me. He looks like he could be Will Ferrell's older brother.
Right, yeah.
In terms of,
I loved his like social anxiety.
It was brilliant.
Just really like resonated with me.
I do like the idea of you being like, you work on your shit and you get, you know, high up in the ranks of whatever it is, and so people automatically have respect for you, so you don't have to impress anyone.
Yeah.
So you can be socially awkward and no one cares.
Yeah.
And or you could just not talk to anyone, and people are like, oh, it's so hard to impress. But in reality, you're just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to talk to anyone. Yeah, I like that idea. But anyway, when he's interviewing the head of Spotlight, who's Michael Keaton, right at the start of the film, and he's basically being like, okay, so what is Spotlight? What is it that you do? Why does it exist? And blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so how long do you work on a case for before you go public with it? He's like, oh, this one that we've been working on for a bit. It's been about 3 months. And Marty's like, 3 months? Like, oh yeah, but you know, we'll probably take another 3 months, and the last one was about a year. And you see Marty just kind of like, so he is a very calm and collected man. He takes a few notes and he's like, Man of few words kind of vibe.
Mm.
But I was looking at that, and I know in his head he's going, a fucking year! A year! And we're paying you all how much per hour? There's fucking like 5 of you in the office, and you take a year to publish a story. You fucking joking? A year, Jordan.
Had he read the stories?
Had he read the...
Yeah.
Well, had Marty read the stories? I don't know.
Because, I feel like he's the guy who's going to be like, okay, he's jotting down his notes like, yeah, so it took this long to create this content. Then I'm going to go back, going to analyze the content, look at it, judge its worth based off the time, make a little graph, time versus content. And then he's going to come back to me like, nope, can't do 3 months.
Yeah.
Look at the graph. You see there? No, that's that little bit there. That's where we need to make money. And,
exactly.
You don't get there fast enough.
Exactly. He's the kind of person who like he would be listening to the information just as you were doing an impression of, and he just sits there in silence whilst taking the notes. And him going away and doing research he doesn't actually go away to do the research. He's already done the research ahead of time, and he's making a graph on the spot just there. He's in front of you, and so the guy is like, "Do you want to have any other questions?" And Marty just puts his finger up like, as if to say, 1 minute.
Yeah, he's already measured the content.
Yeah,
he's now
like,
just putting the time along it.
Here's the graph. You fucked it. Yeah. I got a beef as well. There's the dude, Michael Keaton, and he's got some buddy who works with the church, and he's a lawyer, and blah, 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 blah. And they go golfing a few times because that's a thing that executives do. They go golfing. And it's like, I'm not looking forward to that, Jordan. Because I'd like to think that at some point in our lives, we'll get to the point where we're high enough in whatever company or as individual freelancers and whatever that we will get invited to go to play golf. But like, is that a thing? Is that still going to be a thing when we're older?
I don't know, man. Golf has stood the test of time. I imagine it will probably still be around.
I don't really...
Or do you mean the actual act of business golf?
Business golf.
Business golf.
Business golf.
Business golf.
Business golf.
It'll probably be virtual, won't it?
It probably will be. I'd rather do like business ping pong.
Business ping pong doesn't sound like a thing.
Not really, and you're not going to get the same kind of conversations that you...
Hey, Marty, you better watch out for that spin shot. I'll get you next time.
But what they do on the golf course is always...
Stays on the golf course.
Well, in which case, let's move on. No, but they do say a bunch of stuff like, but really though, off the record.
I've always wondered about this with journalism. They say
there
off
is
the
no
record,
such thing
but
as off the
if you're not
record.
just going to put that in anyway.
Exactly, because you're talking to a
going on your
fucking
word,
journalist.
yeah.
It's like anything that you say to them is going to be ammunition for at some point.
Yeah.
Like and like, let's say I'm a journalist, yeah.
Yeah.
And you give me some information, but I'm like, hey, it's off the record, Jordan. And then I put it in my newspaper or something, and you're like, what the fuck, Keiran? And I'm like, dude, I'm a journalist. It's my job.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, so say I'm David Cameron, and you're a journalist, and you say,
You're a dickhead.
David, did you fuck a pig? And I go, what? Come on. And you say, off the record. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, off the record. Yeah, I did. And then when it gets published, David Cameron fucked a pig's head. Can I, as David Cameron, go up to you and be like, nah, I didn't.
Bro, that was off the record.
That was off the record, so it doesn't count. What the fuck?
The journalist can't then go, yeah, I take that back because he told me it was off the record. So
yeah.
But then if you're saying that it's off the record, then I guess at that point you're saying that it's now on the record, isn't it?
Just like as if like President Trump, like, did you tamper with votes and have Russians do some stuff with it?
No. Off the record.
Yes, but that was off the record, so it doesn't count.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Yeah.
At the time when I was first asked, it was off the record, so I think we'll just leave that.
Do you claim guilty or not guilty? Off the record, guilty.
Off the record, guilty, but on the record, not guilty.
Yeah,
absolutely, not guilty.
Not guilty. All right, I've got one last beef.
Okay.
I don't know if you got any more.
I got one small one. It's just that everyone's names were too similar. I was struggling. I was struggling to keep up with everyone.
Yeah, when there's a lot of white people names, it's like...
I really struggle because they're generic and I don't know, I don't attach them to faces. I just hear them and then forget them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially old white men. I don't know why. I don't stick their face in my brain.
How many Allens,
Oh.
How many
If I could count the Allens.
Californias?
Yeah.
How many can you meet?
Allenifornia.
Well, that's what you said.
I said
earlier.
Allenifornia.
Oh, okay. Kettle chips.
Yes, I don't know where you're going with this.
The woman investigative journalist, whose name I can't remember,
Yep.
who also, she had kettle chips in her kitchen.
Oh, I noticed that.
And I was like, were there kettle chips in 2001? I don't remember seeing kettle chips that early. I don't think there were.
I could not speak with any confidence.
Is it alright if I Google this?
Yeah?
Come on. Turns out that kettle chips actually have been around for quite a while.
Well, thank you very much, Kieran.
So,
the question that was on everybody's lips.
So I think I was wrong, but it just looked weird seeing. I mean, maybe I don't think they're in the UK. I still haven't Googled this much.
Why? Why did you not find out all the information? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Shit.
When were they around? When did they start? Tell me you know that. Tell me you know that.
The first thing on the Our Story is 1853.
Whoa.
But it says long ago before the days of kettle chips. So it's like, well, what the fuck?
Okay.
But 1978, Cameron Healy founded Kettle Foods in Salem, Oregon, USA. So it is
What? They came from America. I thought they were an English thing.
I thought they were
very disappointed.
Tyrrells. If Tyrrells is not British,
Tyrrells.
then I'll be like, what the fuck? Because they look super British.
They do.
But yeah, basically, Kettle Chip celebrated its 30-year anniversary in 2008. So it celebrated its 40-year anniversary in 2018.
Okay.
Kettle Chips.
Did you know, I'm pretty sure crisps were originated in France.
Really?
Yeah, right.
Is that a thing?
This is based off of a cartoon that I saw many, many years ago as a child.
Factual as always.
Right, no, but it was like one of those, horrible histories sort of thing.
Fucking loved horrible histories.
And it was like a king wanted some potato, those potato disc type things.
Crisps, yeah.
No, not crisps. When they're just...
Dauphinoise potatoes.
There you go.
Those were the shit, man.
Potato dauphinoise.
Spud dauphinoise. Dolphin spit.
Potato dauphins. He was asking for them, but he kept on asking the chef to make them thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. And then the chef was like, okay, you want them thin, I'll give you thin. And then he made a crisp, and then the king was like, these are fucking delicious. And he was like, oh, all right, I'll keep making them. And that was crisps.
Let's go with that version of history, because that is more interesting than the version of history that I found on Wikipedia.
Okay, cool. We'll leave it there then. Have you got any bits and bobs?
Hell yes, I do. Just that Marty has no bants, like 0% bants, and I just find it hilarious how little bants he has. I really enjoyed him as a character. I really liked him.
I've got one note in my book that says, pretty ballsy of Marty.
What, to go ahead and just, first thing he does, sues the Catholic Church?
Is that, yeah, that is, see, I couldn't remember what it was.
Oh.
And I'm just sitting here looking at it like, damn, I wish I knew what it was, what he did that I thought was really ballsy.
It's not going to be like, oh yeah,
I forgot who Marty was. I thought that was Mark Ruffalo's character.
No. It's not as if like...
No, it is very ballsy of him. He comes in, he's like, hello, I'm the new editor. Let's sue the church.
Well, I mean, big move, but you want to make some changes when you're a new guy.
Suing the church.
Making a statement, that's for sure.
It's like getting a job at fucking Staples as the area manager and going like, right, let's take down the government.
Well,
those two things are exactly similar, Kieran. You can't disprove that.
Okay.
No, maybe not.
The admin montages, Jordan.
Yeah, archiving. Oh my god.
The archiving montage. So you had two big admin montages. The first one was the archiving montage, where there were these. It was so nice. So the way that they would access all of these drawers of files, you pressed a button and there was like a rotating file drawer.
Yeah, man.
I was like, yes, it was so good. And then the second admin montage was like, we've got to go, we're working backwards and we're finding all of the people who left because of sick leave or whatever. And it's just them going through books, like with a ruler going down the page, looking at the different names and the different dates and stuff. And it's just like a minute worth of them looking at books.
Yeah, it's great.
Blissful. It's blissful with a nice ding 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 music in the background.
I set up an archiving system at work.
Tell me more,
just where,
please.
Because there wasn't really one in place where it's just a piece of paper that goes in the archive box. It says what's in it, and the data has to be destroyed. And then that piece of paper is photocopied and put in a folder. So then whenever you need to find things, there's just like a catalog of all the stuff, and you can just find it. Which doesn't sound, it's not very, complex.
No. Hey, don't do yourself down, Jordan.
It's not, because archiving is pretty straightforward most of the time. But the thing is, when I just go and I need to get we need this piece of paper from this day, and I just go through the catalog and right, there it is. Just go up to the loft and get it down from the box, and it's just this. I feel like I've just created Argos or something. I feel so powerful in that moment. I literally have created matter.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Jordan, it matters a lot.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Good job.
You can have that.
Remember AOL?
AOL?
Yeah.
What, the email thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a sticker, or there was someone using AOL, and I was just
that's cute.
That was a thing. The nice little touches.
Oh, yeah, I like that. It's nice. There was some flip phones as well.
Yeah, loved a flip phone. My mum would never let me have a flip phone. My mum would never let me have a flip phone when I was growing up, because she was scared I would flip it all the way off.
Flip 360.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
Hardcore.
I had a swivel phone.
Whoa! Oh yeah, shit! I remember those. Yeah.
My dad broke it. I was really.
He over swiveled. Is that what it was?
No, he just used it and then it broke. I don't know what happened.
Your dad is the kind of person who I have a really funny image in my head of him being very careful when he opens it, but his head and his hand are so strong that when he he just crushes the phone against his face. He's
hello, Mr. Dick.
Hello. And just crushes the phone against his face.
Still getting bits of phone out of his ear to this day.
Brilliant, yeah.
That's why he has to use soft phones.
What even is that?
It's just a
soft phone.
It's a phone with a pool noodle wrapped around it.
All right. I'm gonna
and a little section cut out so you can still hit the buttons.
I'm calling quits on the bits and bobs section.
Or maybe
right now.
buttons stuck through with plastic so you can get through it and just a square cut out for the screen.
I missed the start of this whole imaginary thing.
Come on, jump on the pool noodle thing.
I don't know what pool noodles are.
What? You don't know what? It's the long noodles. Come on,
Jordan is stretching out his whole arm's length worth of
noodle
noodles.
Things that float, and people hit each other with them. And they're all sorts of colors, red, green, yellow.
Oh my fucking god! I know what you're talking.
Yeah,
a pool noodle. You call that a pool noodle?
It's a pool noodle. Yeah. What do you call it? You didn't have a name for it, did you?
A swimming balance.
Shut up.
Straw fucking.
Go home.
No, it's not.
Shut up. Get out of here with that.
It's not a pool noodle.
Fucking swimming apparatus for.
Okay, no.
Buoyancy device.
Well, I feel like I need to explain what it is. It's a tube made out of. No, it's not foam. And
it's
not
foam.
It's not polystyrene either. It's somewhere in between. It's not spongy.
It's foam.
It's more plasticky than foam is.
It's dense foam.
That's precisely what it isn't. It's not dense.
It's undense foam. It's a pool noodle, Keiran. It doesn't need to be anything more.
I'm uncomfortable with pool noodle.
Are you putting your hands in your pockets right now?
I feel really
she just did the Mark Ruffalo on me. No, you're not Googling it, Keiran. Stop. We don't need to Google this.
Holy shit, you're right.
Thank you.
You are absolutely 100% right, but
I know. Stop Googling. You've already deciphered that I'm right. Something I could have told you anyway. Yeah.
Meow. All right. If you would be someone in the film. Okay, by the way.
Yeah.
Listeners, what we're doing right here is we are saying, well, no, because we pretty much explain it.
No, we don't need
to explain this thing because it's pretty self-explanatory.
Here comes the segment where we say who we would be to change the outcome of the film and who we would bring in to change the outcome of the film.
Let's go.
Let's
Jordan,
do that.
Who would you be?
No, you go first.
Well, so what we sometimes do is that we don't change who we would be. We
never change who we are, Keiran. We stay true to ourselves.
We don't change something in the film. Sometimes we just be in the film. I would just be in the admin montages.
Right, okay.
Just enjoying going through those books, being the black lady in the library, pressing the button, going through the archives. I want to be I want to be her, or I want to be fucking what's her name, Rachel. For some reason, I just remember Mark Ruffalo going up to me, someone, and he never talks with his mouth fully open, and he goes like, oh, "Thanks, Rachel."
Pretty good, actually.
Thanks. And so I would just want to be Rachel, going through the archives or looking for newspaper clippings and being the archivist.
Yeah. I've got two.
Ooh.
So my first one that's actually relevant would be, I can't remember what his name is, but there's like another guy that's the equivalent of Michael Keaton, but in a different department perhaps. He's got like white hair. He's like another sort of almost
He's a superior,
guy.
no?
I think he might be a superior,
Yeah.
but they're very like close levels, it seems. So I'd be that guy because it seems that whatever it was, like 10 years ago or something, and Michael Keaton was there at the time. They got sent all of the relevant information that they needed to do the case, and it just got sort of swept away, and no one really did anything with it. And they just got like a two paragrapher in like page 21 of the book of the newspaper or something.
That was an important plot point, by the way.
Yeah. Basically, Michael Keaton at the end realizes that he was sort of instrumental in not letting this story get out in the first place, just because he missed it essentially. And I would go back. Okay, so actually no, because my second B was Michael Keaton because he's cool. But so I would just be him and just pick up on it earlier, and because he clearly has the balls to actually do something about it. Because everyone else in the town is sort of allowing it to be swept under the rug, and he's the only one that's sort of like, nope, not having it.
I do like that conversation that he had with. So Michael Keaton has a conversation with people from his school.
Yeah,
and he's like, some of these pastors and priests and whatever were in the school and committing offences when I was at the school. And then there's this guy who's like, I don't know, on the fucking board of the governors or some shit.
Yeah.
And he's talking with Michael Keaton in a bar, and he's like, come on, we're in Boston. This is our city. We don't want to take down Boston and blah, blah, blah. Basically trying to convince him to not publish this story.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton's like, this is how it happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like
this is the conversation.
One guy rubs on another guy and says, like tries to convince the other one, and that's how it happens. Yeah, and it's like, well, fucking good for you, Michael Keaton, to sticking to your guns. Yeah, so I totally respect your B.
Thank you.
I respect you anyway, Jordan.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
I respect your B, though.
Okay.
Cool.
How about you?
Well, I've already told you. I'd be.
Yeah, I wasn't listening. Do it again. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah. It's nice
so who would you bring in?
I'd bring in just the whole of the cast of The Passion of Joan of Arc.
Why?
Because I feel like they definitely need to have an investigative team taking apart their judgments of whether Joan of Arc should be burnt at the stake or not.
Right.
So in The Passion of Joan of Arc, there's no, I mean, as far as I'm aware, there's no kiddie fiddling priests. But there is a quandary. There is an issue. It's like, all right, there's a moral issue to do with the Catholic Church. And I was like, all right, it seems that the authority on fucking around with the Catholic Church is the Boston Globe, and we've got to get the Spotlight team to deal with the moral issue behind the Passion of Joan of Arc.
Right.
Not particularly interesting.
No, that's very noble of
fun,
you to, bring the Catholic Church under the spotlight. From time before. Yeah.
There you go.
Now, if I told you that Michael Keaton played Batman.
Now that seems ridiculous to me. Like I was Googling him yesterday just cause,
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking Batman? He was Batman?
Yeah.
He's not tall enough to be Batman. Like he doesn't look.
You just fiddle with the camera, don't you?
It just doesn't look nearly as imposing enough to be Batman.
Oh well, have you watched the Batman with him in?
No,
Batman?
No. I reckon he'd be a very stern dad, Michael Keaton. But I mean, he's not the hero that Gotham deserves. He's just a guy.
Well, anyway, I would make Michael Keaton play Batman in this film at the end and make it like a part 2 where he goes out into the night and just beats up all of the kiddie fiddling priests. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then just like more montages of him like just going through the archives at night in a Batman suit. Like,
I didn't bring my glasses.
John Denver's corner of 42th Street and 2nd. Okay, let's go. John Denver.
Thank you, Rachel.
It's me, Batman.
Very, very good. I like that.
You touched that child. Did you touch that child? Smack.
Nice. All right, would you stay indoors to watch Spotlight?
Yeah, absolutely. Great
Wicked.
film, and made me realise, because everyone knows the hype about priests touching children. Everyone just knows.
Hype man.
Everyone
Priests touching
knows about
kids.
that, didn't they? But
Hype.
I didn't realise just how deep the story goes, because at the end it gives you like a list of all the different countries where it's affecting,
And it's like, well, it'd be easier to say the countries that where
listeners,
this isn't
it's
happening.
your country, regardless of where you are. And it's just like, oh, wow, really shone a light on the whole thing.
Well, Spotlight.
Yeah, that was intentional. Would you stay indoors?
Fuck yeah. I told my mum to watch it because like my mum loves a historical / true story film. So I was like, Mum, you should watch this film. But also everyone else should watch this film. I thought it was wicked. It was interesting because like I'm going to say 2/3 of the way through, I was like, this is still a bit of a documentary for me. But then I was like, there was something that happened. And I think it was the second admin montage where I was like, I'm fully down.
We're in.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, stay indoors.
Okay.
And if you want to watch this film, I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I think it was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I did watch it on Amazon Prime. If my memory spans as far as like a day ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Next week, what are we watching?
Next week, we are going to be watching Die Hard.
Die Hard. Because it's Christmas. And the number generator actually somehow predicted that, which is pretty incredible. So the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Stay tuned next week for Die Hard.
We'll see. I've never seen it before. So ding dong, merrily on high. Ding dong, merrily die hard.
Ooh. Do you want to leave on that note?
I really don't. I just want to say, everyone, that Die Hard episode is going to come out on 27th or 28th. It's going to be in the Christmas gooch, basically.
I love that.
Where
the Christmas taint.
Great. So basically, between now and then, guys, Merry Christmas.
Have a wonderful festive season.
Yeah, you can do that. Merry Christmas.
Everyone.
Good things you can do today. 1. Make a coffee for someone. 2. Leave a 5-star glowing review. 3. Donate money to charity. 4. Leave a 5-star glowing review. 5. Help a lady cross the street. 6. Help another lady cross the street. 7. Leave a 5-star glowing review. You can also...
8. Say thank you to a bus driver.
That's a very good shout, actually.
Yeah.
They usually appreciate it. They might not show it, but they do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, you can also check us out, 250 Reasons, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
That's at 250 Reasons.
Oh, sorry.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Acast,
Blah, blah,
YouTube.
blah, blah, blah,
all
blah,
of
blah,
them,
blah,
you know
blah,
by
blah,
now.
And you
Anywhere
can
that get
email
250reasons@gmail.com. 250 Reasons
at gmail.com.
What a fucking shambles.
Okay, bye.
Bye.